ऑटो शंघाई 2023 में पेट्रोल से चलने वाली गाड़ियों की जगह आहिस्ता आहिस्ता न्यू एनर्जी से चलने वाली कारें ले रही हैं।
You know, the world really wants to get rid from this.
Morocco, we cannot see a lot of electric vehicles.
As Egyptian, and we still
Hello everyone and welcome to E-TALK, where we talk about the 5 E's: Earth, Environment, Energy, Education and Economy. I'm pleased to be joined by 3 experts from 3 different parts of the world. Firstly, we have Yasir, an international relations expert and analyst from Pakistan. To my right is Abdullah from Morocco, who is a power engineer. And then we have Ala from Egypt, who is a business journalist. Today we are going to talk about development of new energy vehicles. The global electric vehicle market share has taken a tremendous leap forward in the past decade especially. Let's start by looking at some historic data and the development of the global EV market.
Global electric vehicle sales hit record 10.5 million units in 2022. Internal combustion engine vehicle sales declined by 7% in the growing shift to electric power. Global sales of electric vehicles reached a record in 2022 with 10.5 million new battery electric vehicles, and plug-in hybrids delivered an increase of 55% compared with 2021. According to global new energy passenger vehicle sales published by Clean Technica, accumulated global sales in 2022 will be 10,91,200 units, representing a 14% share of overall automotive market. Both BYD and Tesla will sell more than 1 million units cumulatively in 2022.
Yasir, I'll begin with you. We know that BYD is a well-known Chinese brand for electric vehicles, and it has now entered the Egyptian, Pakistani as well as Moroccan market. New energy vehicles currently popular in Pakistan in particular. What do you think is attracting this trend for people to switch?
I think in a big picture, if we see, the world really wants to get rid from this fuel, petrol and diesel, because the energy crisis is all over the world. And in case of Pakistan in particular, we are in a severe energy crisis. According to some estimates, Pakistan needs around $41 billion to avert its energy crisis. It's a very welcoming news for Pakistan because the prices of petrol and diesel, they have soared all-time high. And another important factor is that since we are in a financial crunch, our major chunk of import bill is energy import, especially oil, because we are not an oil producing country. And as far as the gas is concerned, that's only sufficient for the country alone.
It's a positive news. And also, I mean, there's also a factor how we had an energy crisis,
That's
which
right.
has to a great degree been addressed by the China-Pakistan economic corridor. Now coming to Abdullah. Abdullah, I understand that Morocco is also a country where there is a lot of awareness about transitioning to greener energy. Can you talk a little bit about it? I mean, why is this shift happening in Morocco? What do you think the implications will be?
I think like the electrical vehicle are becoming more popular and widely adopted by several countries. However, in some countries are not that popular. In Morocco, we cannot see a lot of electrical vehicle on the road. However, Morocco has signed with the BYD, the Chinese electric car, since 2017 and set a very ambitious goals to produce more than, or to reach 1 million units by 2025. The shift like to the new energy cars will, or vehicles will help reduce the emission and also reduce the dependence of countries like on the fossil fuels.
Right.
Yes.
How is the situation in Egypt, Ala?
it's kind of company working in Egypt long time ago, but with the regular cars, with working with the gasoline. But to be honest, I know new energy cars is popular now, and it's gonna be trend in the next 20 years. But it's not working that well in my country, in Egypt. they are going to use it.
I'll also come to Yasser with your point about expensive electricity, which is what I want to ask. I mean, are people also concerned about how smart are these cars going to outsmart people in some way?
Yes, this is because even in Pakistan we haven't seen electric cars moving now.
Right.
So I think it's just as an initial step. But the government of Pakistan should keenly take interest in this. As a replacement, we have a lot of issues, as I just mentioned, that major chunk of our import bill is energy fuel. Another important point which I wanted to add is that if we look back, 2014 was the time when we were considered as an energy inefficient country. But China-Pakistan Economic Corridor made Pakistan an energy sufficient country in terms of energy mix. They're undertaking the hydel energy and working on the mixed energy. But as far as the electric cars are concerned, it is an excellent replacement. And how it is going to outsmart is still, I think it's a big question. But with the further cooperation of the Chinese counterparts, things can be discussed further. I think as far as when it is going to be in history, I think it should have been a long time ago. EVs should have been part of today's life, because if we see with that perspective, this fuel monopoly has been going on for years now, and we know certain countries take benefit out of this. A lot of alternative resources and energy resources are already available. But the point is that somehow certain countries started taking initiative so that they can get rid from this expensive, and also it's not environmental friendly. As we know, we live in the world where there are a lot of environmental impacts. For example, Pakistan is already in the red list of the environmental implications. So I think this monopoly should have been over years ago, because there are alternative resources available. China, for that matter, they have started research in 2010. It took them about 13 years for them to now have a breakthrough. But let's, for example, if 10 years more on, I think there could be a lot of development. It's beyond any shadow of a doubt that in electric vehicles could be developed. More research is needed. And second, it is much cheaper. And as far as the old cars are concerned, that can be recycled or turned into electric vehicles again.
What else can be done for a smoother and effective transition to EV?
To promote more the electric cars more for the users, especially for countries as us, we don't have to stop as just consumers. We need to work to be part of the producer gain. So for me, as Egyptian, and we still have to work on the infrastructure, we still have to work to the electricity prices, and we mix more from the renewable resources, because we are a big country with the big deserts.
In China's case in particular, what impact do you think development of new energy vehicles can really have on this country's economy? And also, I mean, is it improving people's lives in any way?
I believe that the transition toward new energy vehicles will bring a lot of benefits to China. Surely will reduce China's emissions, and also increase jobs in these areas, create more jobs for researchers, and will also benefits from the development of these new energy vehicles will also make it more affordable for the people.
Last question to you, Ala. What is the impact on the global economy or mindset of people when you do have more affordable EVs coming from a country like China?
Actually, it's gonna benefit China and the world, because that trade will gonna be going on as it is, and more items they are trading in, not only regular car. China, as we see, is a big market and big producer, and it needs middle parts to put it in their cars. So this middle cars were gonna be from the other countries, and this is how the trade comes or goes. And the only big question here, the whole impact about the global climate war. Are we going with the electric cars, and this is gonna change the climate warming? And we are out of time to do that. This is the whole situation, because we are going to electric cars and we are promoting the whole story about going to be like environment friendly with the cars to stop global warming.
What is the future at all?
There's no reason to do these things because we are gonna end anyway.
What's your view?
Yes, I think we're already late as far as the environmental consequences are concerned. I think it is needed because otherwise things would be out of our control. China has taken the lead, which is a very good example for the rest of the states to emulate and follow. And the other states also need to take some baby steps so that we can move towards eco-friendly world.
I will wrap up with a Chinese proverb actually. The best time to build a tree, to plant a tree was 20 years ago. But the second best time is today. And indeed, when we look at some statistics, we look at how much damage has actually happened to the global environment, and especially looking at the countries that are bearing the consequences can do little in terms of emissions to fix the damage. But major transitions, major economies, setting the trend that actually investing in EVs, renewables, is something that is beneficial to the economy, not a price that you pay for otherwise cheaper fuels. So this is a changing transition, a dynamic wave of understanding that renewables are an opportunity for people, for the economy, for research and development, as well as for the environment. Let's hope the trend continues and that more EVs that are even better for the environment can be created, can be consumed in the near future. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.